The Crew 2 comes out this week, or is actually already out if you have the gold edition of the game, and with the release of the game, guys, comes a ton of videos here on the channel. I played the beta and I bought the gold edition of the game, so I've put a few hours into it already. So I figured I'd actually go ahead and make a video on what kind of stands out to me within the game. 5 things that I think you guys should consider, or at least know, before going ahead and buying the game. The game is really good as a whole, but there are some things that caught my eye. If you guys enjoy the Crew videos, make sure to smash that thumbs up button for me. Throw any comments down below. If you're new around here, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So the Crew 2 is a ton of fun, and it's honestly great for an action-packed racing game. It is fantastic for that. It's got something for everyone, with off-road, street racing, boats, airplanes, dirt bikes, street bikes. Like, it really does have everything. It has it all, and that's one thing that I think is really great about the game. I think this video is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun video for me to kind of talk about different things within the game. So to start off with idea 1, I think we should talk about the variety. The Crew 2 has a ton of variety within the game, and that's one thing that makes it stand out. It stands out in my mind because of the variety. There are not many games that have, you know, street racing, boats, airplanes, dirt bikes, street bikes, off-road vehicles. Like, there is so much to do within the game. There are a ton of events to take part in, a ton of stunts, and various challenges to complete within the game. It's almost like Forza. It's Forza style with, you know, speed traps, drift zones, and more areas to kind of challenge your skills. And if you take it upon yourself to complete everything within the game, I'd honestly be surprised if you've seen the sun in years. Not only is there like a ton of variety with events, there is also a ton of variety on the types of vehicles you can drive. Like I said earlier, there is something for everyone with off-roading, street racing, drifting, boat racing, airplane racing, motocross racing, street bike racing, and the list goes on. Like, you guys get the idea. There are so many things to do within the game. There are the main categories of events such as street racing, off-road racing, water racing, and air racing, and then each of those categories have their own purse of events within them. And within the first 20 minutes of gameplay, you have enough events available to kind of keep you busy for like days. You can stay busy for days after just playing the game for like 20 minutes. It's crazy. I think the event variety is great because there's always something to do within the game, but what if you want to just cruise around? What if you want to just cruise and explore? Well, that brings me to my next topic, guys. Free roam. This is pretty self-explanatory. Like, you guys probably get the idea of free roam. The Crew 2 is a free roam open world concept, and you're kind of free to explore the depths of the world as you please. Like, literally, you can go up in the sky, you can hop onto the water, like, you can do whatever. Hop in whatever vehicle you want, whether it be, you know, a plane, a boat, or a street bike, and set off on an adventure. The world is actually huge. It's a pretty big map, and it's made to be like the United States, and they did a pretty good job at keeping it, you know, pretty accurate. Obviously, you can't drive for like, you know, 48 hours or whatever across the US, but there are a ton of jumps and fun things to do within the world. You can try and, you know, hit this jump and do this and do that and race trains. That's a thing within the game. You can go find a train and try and race it. I did that. Video coming out soon. But it's tough to get bored. It's tough to get bored within the game, and it's really, really easy to get distracted by the amount of stuff going on. Like, you're not going to get bored or kind of run out of things to do within the game. While you're actually cruising around the free roam world, make sure you head on over and check out your home. This is something that it can go missed. It can go missed for like a pretty decent length of the game if you aren't paying close attention. You actually have your own house. You have your own house within the game where you can, you know, change your clothes, store cars, and more. It's nothing too special, but it is a good thing to know, and it's there in the game. It exists. Now let's get into the actual like game itself. How is the gameplay? And my answer to that question is the game honestly plays really fast paced and it keeps you on your toes. Those are like the simplest ways to put it. It's fast paced and it keeps you on your toes. So if that's what you want from a racing game, then this is for you. This is the game for you. But I know a lot of you guys like realism. You like the realistic racing aspect. So how is it on that scale? And my answer to that question is this, guys. Honestly, the game, it's not super realistic, but it's not super unrealistic either. There's a weird balance going on between the two, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. There is a turbo feature which allows you to kind of boost. It boosts your vehicle, and I found this pretty different at first. I found like it didn't really fit within the game, but it grew on me, and now that I've played a little bit, it fits. It works. It works in the way they have it set up. I like it. Although with that being said, I think the game is really best when you are street racing. It feels like they've mastered the road physics the most out of anything within the game. Like when you're off-roading, for example, my only complaint is that it feels like there's a ton of downwards force. It doesn't feel like you're off-roading where bumps can send you flying, and it feels like you're like almost glued to the ground. It doesn't feel realistic when you're off-roading. Street racing is pretty good when you're on the roads, but off-roading and things where you hit things, I don't know, it just doesn't feel 100% realistic. Like I said, there's this downwards force when you're off-roading. It like keeps your vehicle on the ground, and I came from Forza and I'm used to kind of how bumps send you like flying. They make you float like they would in real life. Like if you hit a bump doing 120, you're gonna get some air off of that. You're not gonna kind of like go down the other side of the bump. It's just not gonna happen. It's not the way physics work. You're gonna get some air. Here in the Crew 2 though, airtime, it's tough to get, guys. It's tough to get unless you hit an actual jump. The game does warn you that it does not simulate real life driving or real driving at all. So keep that in mind, and go into it with an open mind. I think the game has like a ton of potential to be huge, but I think it does have maybe one downfall here. Now, if you've had internet and have had internet like your whole life, this may not really be like a concern, or it may not have even like crossed your mind, but think about this, guys. The game is multiplayer only, meaning you have to have internet and an online connection to play. There are so many things, guys, that could happen online-wise to keep us from getting on and playing the Crew 2. If our personal internet goes down, if the game servers go down, if Xbox or PSN goes down, these all mean we couldn't get on to play the game, and that would suck. Correct me if I'm wrong, this I could be wrong on, but I think it is just multiplayer only. There may be a single player feature, and that would be really, really cool if they made it so that when the servers aren't on, or if you can't get online, you just go into like your own single player offline world. But I think it is a multiplayer game, and you load into like an online world every time with people driving around. So I don't know, I could be wrong on this. There could be a single player feature that allows you to play offline, but I do believe the game is online only. So if that's a concern to you guys, make sure to look it up and maybe triple check that before hopping in and buying the game. If you don't have internet access all the time, maybe that might be a concern. But here on my end, like I said, I'm one of the kids that grew up with, you know, internet my whole life and everything, so like it's not really a concern, and I can get on and play the game. Now, multiplayer is huge, so I think multiplayer being in the game is also a bonus as well. And overall, guys, the game is a ton of fun. It's full of action, keeping me entertained the whole time I play it. Like from start to finish, it's awesome. I have no real complaints, and I went into it with like an open mind, and I think you guys should too. I thought the ideas in this video might help some people kind of decide on if they should go buy the game or not, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Keep in mind that everything in this video is my personal opinion from observations I've made over the first few days of gameplay. I'll have my official review out early next week, and I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, guys, make sure to go down there and click that thumbs up button. Throw any of your thoughts on the game down below, and I will see you guys later on for another video. Peace out.